Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to take a new look at an old diet and rediscover some lost secrets to human vitality. Back in the 1930s, Weston Price embarked on a remarkable 10-year global investigation. He traveled to the most isolated corners of the globe, places like the Outer Hebrides, the Swiss Alps, Polynesia, and the Andes, all to answer a very simple question: why do modern humans suffer from dental decay and chronic disease, while so-called primitive peoples, often living in harsh conditions, did not? As Dr. Price wisely put it, life in all its fullness is Mother Nature obeyed. Let's explore what he uncovered. This brings us to the modern paradox: advanced technology, yet declining vitality. We've often been taught the myth that the past was disease-ridden and that our present time is the pinnacle of health. But, when we look closely, the reality is quite different. Modern society is plagued by chronic illness, widespread dental decay, and a general, physical degeneration. Think about it: procedures like tonsil or wisdom teeth removal, braces, allergies, fatigue, and depression are now considered almost normal. The statistics are sobering. By the late 20th century, nearly half of all Americans were afflicted by chronic illness. The key concept here is crucial: modern medicine often offers the appearance of health through interventions, but it often lacks the substance of true health, which comes from natural immunity and robust well-being. Our investigator, Weston Price, was a Cleveland dentist in the 1930s. He became deeply alarmed by the skyrocketing rates of cavities and crowded teeth he saw in children. This wasn't just a dental issue; he instinctively knew it was a sign of something much deeper. His quest led him to travel the globe, visiting 14 isolated groups who had virtually no contact with modern civilization. His methodology was ingenious. He wasn't looking for the cure to disease, he was looking for the absence of it. He meticulously counted cavities, finding groups where less than 1% of teeth showed decay. He also documented their physical structure, taking thousands of photographs to compare their remarkable physical development to that of modern people. Dr. Price's global laboratory revealed startling evidence, literally written on the face. On one hand, you had the primitive peoples, thriving on traditional diets. They exhibited broad faces, wide dental arches with beautifully straight teeth, and distinct cheekbones. Many were immune to diseases like tuberculosis, and they generally displayed an optimistic disposition. Then, there were the modernized groups, who had adopted what we consider modern foods. In a single generation, they developed narrow faces, crowded and crooked teeth, pinched nostrils, and underdevelopment of the middle face. They became highly susceptible to disease. Dr. Price found tribes with zero cavities. But, tragically, when these same groups adopted modern foods, dental decay and facial deformity appeared rapidly, often within one generation. So, what was the culprit behind this dramatic shift? Dr. Price identified it as the displacing foods of modern commerce. Think about it: refined sugar, white flour, vegetable oils, canned goods, polished rice. These aren't just empty calories, they actively displace the nutrient-dense foods our bodies need. Even worse, they have a harmful mechanism: they strip the body of its existing mineral stores just to process these refined carbohydrates. The key takeaway here, a crucial side note, is that physical degeneration wasn't genetic. It was purely nutritional. It occurred precisely when traditional foodways were abandoned in favor of these convenient, yet detrimental, trading post foods. Dr. Price's work uncovered the secret formula, the mathematics of vitality. He meticulously analyzed the nutrient content of traditional diets versus the typical American diet. He found that traditional diets contained 4 times the minerals like calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and iron, and a staggering 10 times the fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamins A, D, and what he called activator X. Here's a crucial myth buster: traditional healthy diets were not low-fat and not plant-based. In fact, every healthy culture Price studied highly prized animal foods and their rich fats for their superior nutrition. This really challenges some of our modern dietary assumptions, doesn't it? Let's talk about the X factor, which Dr. Price initially called activator X. We now know it as vitamin K2, truly a missing link in modern nutrition. He first isolated activator X in the butterfat of cows eating rapidly growing green grass, a testament to the power of nutrient-rich pasture. Vitamin K2 plays a vital role in what we call a synergistic triad with vitamins A and D. Think of it this way: vitamins A and D signal our cells to produce important proteins. Minerals are then moved into our bones and teeth, and importantly, kept out of our arteries. Vitamin K2 is the activator. It turns on these proteins, ensuring minerals go where they're needed. Where can we find this crucial nutrient? Primary sources include grass-fed butter, organ meats, fish eggs, certain cheeses, and even traditional fermented foods like natto. Now, let's address the vital role of saturated fats. For years, we've been told to avoid them, but ancestral reality tells a different story. Healthy populations historically consumed up to 80% of their calories from fat, often saturated fat, without suffering from heart disease. Saturated fats are a biological necessity for several reasons. First, for cell integrity, they constitute 50% of our cell membranes, providing crucial stiffness and structure. Second, for nutrient absorption, vitamins A, D, E, and K, those fat-soluble powerhouses, simply cannot be absorbed without fat. And third, for hormonal health, cholesterol, a type of fat, is the mother of all hormones, essential for producing everything from vitamin D to our sex hormones. The action here is clear: choose traditional fats like butter, lard, and tallow, and ditch the industrial vegetable oils. Based on Dr. Price's profound findings, we can outline the Manifesto 11 Principles for Modern Eating, a traditional approach for contemporary health. These principles guide us towards optimal well-being. First, prioritize beef, lamb, game, poultry, and eggs from pasture-fed animals. Second, choose wild fish and shellfish over farm-raised options. Third, embrace full-fat milk products from pasture-fed cows, ideally raw or fermented. Fourth, make liberal use of traditional animal fats like butter, tallow, and lard. Fifth, stick to traditional vegetable oils, only olive, coconut, and palm. Sixth, consider cod liver oil for its essential vitamins A and D. Seventh, enjoy fresh, organic fruits and vegetables. Eighth, learn the proper preparation of grains, legumes, and nuts through soaking and sprouting. Ninth, incorporate enzyme-rich, lacto-fermented foods. 10th, nourish yourself with homemade bone broths. And finally, 11th, use unrefined salt and filtered water. The core guideline here is simple: eat whole, unprocessed foods, just as our ancestors did. Let's dive deeper into Pillar 1: Nose to Tail Nutrition. Traditional peoples had an incredible wisdom. They wasted nothing. They understood that the most nutrient-dense parts of an animal were often the organs and fats, not just the lean muscle we typically focus on today. Take liver, for example. It's nature's multivitamin, the highest source of vitamin A and packed with other essential nutrients. Then there's bone broth, often called the calcium of traditional diets. It provides gelatin and collagen, which are fantastic for gut healing and overall joint health. Without adequate fat, consuming only lean meat can even lead to what's known as rabbit starvation, causing illness because the body needs fat to properly utilize protein. So, embracing nose-to-tail eating truly honors the animal and maximizes our nutrition. Our second pillar is life in the milk. There's a stark difference between raw or fermented milk and processed, industrial milk. Raw or fermented milk is truly a living food. It contains beneficial enzymes like lipase and lactase, which help us digest it. It also has what Price called Wolzin factor, an anti-stiffness factor, along with immune-boosting properties and beneficial bacteria crucial for gut health. In contrast, industrial processing like pasteurization destroys these vital enzymes and beneficial bacteria. Homogenization, which breaks down fat globules, can actually fracture them in a way that contributes to arterial strain over time. The action here is clear: seek out raw, full-fat dairy from grass-fed cows if available, and regularly consume fermented dairy like kefir and yogurt to reap these incredible benefits. Pillar 3 focuses on the art of preparation, particularly for grains, nuts, and legumes. The problem is that these seeds naturally contain what we call anti-nutrients, like phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors. These substances can actually block our body's ability to absorb essential minerals. But our ancestors had the solution: pre-digestion through traditional methods. Soaking, for instance, involves soaking these foods in warm water with an acid, like whey or lemon juice, for 7 to 24 hours. Sprouting deactivates inhibitors and increases beneficial B vitamins. And sour leavening, as seen in sourdough fermentation, effectively neutralizes phytic acid. By employing these simple yet powerful techniques, we unlock the full nutritional potential of these foods, making them far more digestible and beneficial. Pillar 4 brings us to ferments and living minerals. Fermentation is an ancient preservation method that not only extends the shelf life of foods but also dramatically increases their vitamin content and provides beneficial probiotics, like lactobacilli. These are crucial for a healthy gut and a robust immune system. Think about sauerkraut and kimchi, delicious and incredibly good for you. The other part of this pillar is salt. The rule is to use unrefined salt, such as Celtic or Himalayan sea salt, which is rich in over 90 trace minerals essential for bodily functions. Avoid refined white table salt, which has been stripped of these vital minerals. By embracing fermented foods and unrefined salt, we're giving our bodies a wealth of living minerals and beneficial microbes. Now, let's talk about feeding the future with what Drive Price called the sacred foods. These are foods of profound importance for preconception, pregnancy, and childhood, foundational nutrition for the next generation. Ancestral cultures understood that a special diet for parents to be, often for 6 months prior to conception, was essential to ensure wide dental arches, sturdy bones, and overall robust health in their children. The sacred menu includes powerhouses like fish eggs, or roe, liver, egg yolks, and high vitamin butter oil. It's also important to note that vegan or vegetarian diets are generally discouraged for developing children due to critical deficiencies in vital nutrients like B12, iron, and the fat-soluble activators A, D, and K2, which are so crucial for proper growth and development. In conclusion, the wisdom from Dr. Price's groundbreaking work encourages us to eat to thrive. First, reject the displacing foods of commerce, those processed, refined items that offer little nutritional value. Second, return to the wisdom of the kitchen, embracing traditional preparation methods like soaking, fermenting, and simmering. And most importantly, prioritize nutrient density over mere convenience. As Dr. Weston A. Price himself so eloquently stated, the primitive races have shown us clearly that by returning to our native soil, we can conserve for posterity the type of physical excellence that has made man the master of his domain. Let's embrace this timeless wisdom for our own well-being and for future generations. Thank you.